shift here. Hard left, very different.
Well, okay, not so much of a hard left, and I'll explain why. But keep going.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So we received, or at least I was scrolling through the interwebs the other day, and I came across this little. It was just like, for now, it's just hearsay, right?
Yeah.
It's just rumors, talks. No one really knows, but there is some chatter among the common folk like you and I.
All right. I guess I'm common folk. All right, cool.
Among us commoners, us everyday people, that Henry Cavill is in talks to play Wolverine in the MCU's upcoming Captain Marvel 2 film, right? So obviously we know that Disney acquired the rights from Fox and acquired content right from Fox, and in that content it includes like the X-Men, some X-Men characters, which obviously then allows for one Wolverine to join the MCU, who's a big part of the MCU, and that first introduction may be in Captain Marvel 2. Jesus Christ, I hope this is true, because Captain Marvel 1, pure shit.
Fair enough.
Henry Cavill, I think he's from what I've seen from him, a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
His work as Superman, right, in the DC universe was stellar. I think looking at his stature, his physique, his build, what he might be able to bring to this character on screen in terms of like the physicality of Wolverine.
Yeah.
I think there's a short list of people who can pull that off right now, and I think he's on that list.
Yeah.
So if this is true, just get it done. Sign the papers. Like let's get this done. I think he'd be a great addition to not just like the Captain Marvel film, but just the MCU. Like this character needs to be introduced in a way that makes sense, and this might be it.
Yeah. I'm glad you opened with the caveat of, hey, these are just rumors. Nobody really knows. Who knows for sure? Because I did a little digging. Did a little investigative.
Someone signed the papers?
No, nobody signed any sort of papers, and I'll explain why. So this article that we're actually referring to specifically, or the article that at least that you posted,
the link I posted, which was just like 10 words.
Yeah, decoding. Yeah, it was from Decoding. Now I was curious. I was like, usually when I see a story, all right, I try to see how many sources are actually like, can I like go and find for this thing? Or
yeah.
Like or like.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, fair enough. So Decoding is a site that, and I'll read off some of the other articles that I saw on this site. So Decoding said they had an article that suggested that the Big Bang Theory is going to be back for 13th season. Now I'm going to read this for you. The Big Bang Theory. This is the title of the article. The Big Bang Theory back with a bang. Season 13 confirmed. Now I'll remind you that the Big Bang Theory had its final season last year in 2019 with season 12. But that was the name of the article. Like you still like confirmed.
I'm still with you.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. The article reads, however, the director of the show, Mark Sandrowski, has reasserted that the reason for announcing a subsequent season solely depends on the economics. If the economics of the show works great and there's enough fan demand vested in season 13, pulling another season sounds like a compelling idea. Now, that was the content of the article.
Yeah.
Now, I'll remind you what the
title's clickbait.
Title, exactly.
Yeah. Confirmed, so long as
just
everything that needs to happens on time, the money's there.
So that's all bullshit, because the director has distinctly come out and been like, no, everybody does not want to do this, this show again. So like it's bullshit, but I'm trying to show you like how I got to that
There's
point.
no truth to the Henry Cavill MCU.
No, but I want to because this is a cautionary tale. Because when people, especially in this climate of trying to search for, oh man, who do I support as far as a candidate?
Yeah.
Where am I getting my news from? This is what happens, right? You throw a fucking meme on Facebook and suddenly people think, oh, that's the truth. That's 100% the truth. And it's like, it's a fucking meme. Why don't you try to do maybe a little bit about amount of research and find the source?
It's amazing how powerful Google is in like just being able to debunk like fact versus myth, right?
In fact, I'm going to debunk this very story in a moment.
Yeah.
Cosmic Book News. Now, they're kind of notorious for kind of putting out bullshit, right? But there were another source that was indicating this. Now, the reason why I said this kind of ties into the previous story that we did about Cynthia Nixon and the Girls Are Always Girls magazine being a lady, or be a lady, they said, is because Comic Book News put out this headline, Disney losing confidence in Captain Marvel. This was last year that they put this out. Disney losing confidence in Captain Marvel, Brie Larson due to Spider-Man. Now, this is when Spider-Man was doing the whole, where they weren't sure if it was going to be in the MCU or if it was going to go back to Sony, yada, yada. Now, I'll read for you a segment of this article that they read. They say a YouTuber. Now, this isn't a reporter.
YouTuber.
This is just a YouTuber.
Not a journalist,
right?
YouTuber.
They cite this YouTuber claims that Spider-Man was going to be used as a second banana to Captain Marvel. Now, what that basically means is that she would basically belittle Spider-Man in order to prop herself up, at least according to this article. Spidey would have been the butt of her jokes and would have brought much needed humor to Carol Danvers. It's also said Captain Marvel would have humiliated Spider-Man in order to promote Disney's PC feminist agenda that shows females as being better than males. Now, I ask you.
That seems heavy.
That seems like a weird conversation for like a studio to have. Like, hey, what are we going to do to make Captain Marvel better? Let's bring Spider-Man in here and let her shit on Spider-Man because we believe in feminism and making females better than males.
That would never fly.
That's not a fucking conversation that happens like in reality. Like if you want to say themes of that are
it'd be like bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah,
Kevin Feige has left the meeting.
You're going to be the only one in that meeting.
Hello. Is anyone on the call?
Okay, so that's Cosmic Book News, right? That's the kind of shit that they put out, right? Okay, let's go to another source that has sourced this, The Quartering, which is a YouTuber. That's who Cosmic Book News says was a source for this Wolverine story, right?
Yeah.
Now, I went and I searched. I was like, okay, let me see what this Quartering is. It's another YouTuber who is reporting on this, right? Now, it's weird because he points to an article from this website called The Digital Weekly. That's what he's referencing. So now we have a reference to the reference
to another
reference, right? Okay. And strangely enough, Entertainment Weekly Canada also linked to this article. So I got to go check out this Digital Weekly, right? Okay. Digital Weekly had another headline called Westworld Season 3. Has Netflix dropped a release date, trailer, and other details? Now, it would be a fine headline with one minor issue. I feel like we'd know if Westworld were on Netflix because HBO actually has Westworld.
Yeah.
So that's a strange headline to still keep up on your website, even though one would assume you look over your content. Okay. But let me tell you specifically what this article sources. Now, again, this is where everybody is sourcing this news from. I'm going to read to you this, and you explain to me if you would believe this same story. I'm going to
give me.
Sure. And I'm reading verbatim exactly what's there on this article. Sources have claimed that Henry Cavill is in talks to play the role of Wolverine in Brie Larson's Captain Marvel 2. It is rumored that Cavill will be introduced as Wolverine at the MCU. That's literally what it says.
Yeah, that fucks
First
it all.
Fleck. Marvel, since acquiring Fox News, was looking for a way to add, or Fox Studios, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Fox Studios was looking for a way to add some X-Men characters into the MCU. Marvel acquired all the rights to X-Men after buying Fox, chomping them a bit to introduce the MCU. Now, clearly there are some grammatical errors, some things happening there that should probably
That's why you download Grammarly.
But also another glaring error. If you were reporting on this and you're like, all right, let's get our facts straight here. We value, getting our shit straight. You would know that Marvel didn't purchase Fox Studios. Disney did.
Disney, yeah.
That's a very easy thing to know.
Yeah.
But this is the article everybody is sourcing as a source for this rumor.
And you know what's funny? So I'm looking at a Forbes article right here, and as soon as you search Henry Cavill, the first one thing that pops up is Henry Cavill Wolverine, right?
Yes.
So this Forbes article says that Henry Cavill as Wolverine in Captain Marvel 2 rumor has the sketchiest source ever. So it's funny how this is like taken off, and a lot of people have like gone out to debunk it, and there was nothing true about this, right? It was really just talks on the internet, right?
And I'm glad you opened it with the caveat of like, hey, this might not be true. We're just, we're just talking about if the rumors were true. But as I kind of dug deeper into it, I was like, yo, this is so weird that all these places are sourcing this bullshit like article, that's such a weird, like EW Canada. It's Entertainment Weekly or Entertainment. That's what it's called, right? EW.
Yeah.
Entertainment Weekly.
Yep.
Canada reference, which is, come on, you're fucking Entertainment Weekly. Like, what are you doing?
Moral of the story here is cite your sources, or at least do a little bit more
research.
Check your sources. Know who the fuck you're getting your information from. But here's the conversation that I wanted to have about this, right? The bigger conversation, less about like, Henry Cavill, whatever. In the MCU, right? Now that Disney has the rights to a lot of these characters, and we know that there's a MCU expansion coming. When you look at like the Eternals, Captain Marvel 2, right? And a lot of these Thor, Love and Thunder or whatever that's coming down the pipeline.
Yep.
A character is as important as Wolverine. It's about time we have that character. I would maybe even love to hear or see some references to Wolverine in like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? Because we know Wolverine and Captain America have such they have a long relationship, right? So how Marvel plans to introduce some of these characters, like a one Wolverine who people really want to see, and people want to see who's going to pick up that role from Hugh Jackman. This is one of those things that has no truth to it, but very interesting.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's a very, I think it's a very interesting casting. A lot of people are like, I don't know if I like Henry Cavill. Whatever, Henry Cavill will be just as fine as Wolverine as fucking Hugh Jackman was. Hugh Jackman, when he first got cast, nobody fucking thought Hugh Jackman would have been a great fucking Wolverine. In fact, at first, he was okay.
Yeah.
Like the first X-Men movie, he was all right as Wolverine. It wasn't until like X2 that it was like, okay, this guy's
when he like
beefed up a little bit,
and like he looked more like the character. And whenever you have a transition like this, right, people are like, I don't know if Ben Affleck could play Batman. I don't know. But then, like, to be honest, I like Ben Affleck's Batman. And now we have Robert Pattinson, and people are like, I don't know.
And eventually he'll be okay too. Like it's like we like every time we have this fucking stupid game of somebody getting cast and everybody's freaking out.
We don't know.
And then the movie comes out and they're like, oh, that's pretty good. Yeah,
because they're an actor and they acted.
This is their fucking job.
But I just think this opens up the conversation to like the first introduction of any character who has not been a part of the MCU yet. That was a part of this acquisition by Disney from Fox. I think it has to be, or at least in my opinion, it should be Wolverine, because people really want to see that. Now, you can't make a movie, you can't make movies and make decisions based off of what fans want to see. But we really want to see this.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, and specifically actually in Captain Marvel 2. I know they're going with a different writer and different writers and directors for Captain Marvel 2, and I think that's good, because the one thing that and you've always kind of versed that at the beginning of this piece, you even voiced how you hate Captain Marvel, the movie, but I always distinguish that from Brie Larson. I thought. In Captain Marvel, I can see why people thought, okay, or said that, she plays kind of like a hollow character. It's not really that great. But look, I've seen Brie Larson in too many good, films where she knocked the fucking role out of the park to discount her now of like, oh no, she sucks, she's not good. She's a super talented actress. But I think it's the script. It's the script and the direction that's given that's going to mean everything to the film with somebody of her capabilities, and then if you throw somebody like Henry Cavill in it, look, I don't know if I'm as high on Henry Cavill. I think I really liked him as Superman, but I don't know exactly how that would work in terms of him playing Wolverine in this particular film, but I know it'll give it a jolt. Like, it'll give it something, like, something that's like, okay, this is different, and if you're thinking about adding a Henry Cavill even maybe speaking even more just to the Wolverine character. Forget if Henry Cavill even plays him.
Yeah.
Just adding the
Wolverine character
into Captain Marvel 2. Well, okay, like what does that look like?
Yeah.
What are we doing there?
What story are we going to tell?
What story
right
are we
here?
telling around this? You know, I'm immediately intrigued. You know, which I think far outweighs anything that they were probably previously thinking, like back when they had the same writer and director, or you know, back when they did the original film. Anything they could have conceived of from the original. Let's just do this shit. Like, let's just do this instead.
Yeah, let's delete everything. Control Alt Delete everything. Let's start fresh.
Yeah. So not to spend too much time on this, but look, I no matter what, I think again, I hold unlike some assholes out there, I hold Brie Larson in such a high regard, and I think she's a great person to play Captain Marvel. It's just you have to have somebody who can nurse her talent. And be able to get the best out of it that they can get. And I think that pairing her up with somebody else in the film, although Samuel L. Jackson was a great person to pair, she could be paired with. But I think, you know, if you give her the right directing, if you give her the right script, I think she can do wonders with it. And I'm looking forward to see what they cook up with. And I hope to God that some part of this rumor is true, whether it's just Wolverine in the film or whether it's Henry Cavill as Wolverine in this film. Either way, I'll be satisfied. But again, check your sources, people.
Yeah. Is there a release date for like Captain Marvel 2? Do we know?
No, I don't think we're talking about it because right now they're just
the next,
getting
like 2 years.
Yeah, now
probably.
they're just cooking up pre-production for it.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on here.